So as I say, this is just going to be a quick fire round of decluttering, so I'm just going to dive straight in and pluck out the ones that are for the bin, starting with the Ageless Elixir Miracle Foundation from Max Factor. I'm really not enjoying this anymore, so it's going to go. We also have the Skin Luminizer Foundation from Max Factor. It just sits on top of the skin. It doesn't really sink in. It just doesn't really look nice. We have the Color Stay from Revolution. Ugh. Say that again. The Color Stay from Revolution. As I said before, I'll just zoom you guys in a little bit. It has gone bad, so I'm not going to keep it. It's going to go. The Vichy Idealia BB cream, I just don't reach for it. I'm not reaching for it. If I am going to use a BB cream kind of thing, I am going to use the Complexion Rescue from Bare Minerals. So we're going to get rid of the Vichy. It is really nice. I've had it for a while and it kind of needs to go now. It went off June last year. So, bye-bye. The other one that's going to go is this MAC Mineralize Moisture SPF Foundation. This is date mark 2004. It was passed along to me from a friend. So I've had it for 4 years and I haven't reached for it. I don't think it's my colour at all. So I'm just not going to hang on to it. I'm just going to pass it on. Well, throw it out, I should say. There isn't any other ones that are jumping out at me that I want to get rid of, but there are a few that I want to try out and see if I like, and those are these 5. These are kind of what's left of my drugstore foundations. The only other drugstore foundations I've got are some number 7 and some NYX foundations, which I know I like those. But we have the Superstay 24, the L'Oreal True Match, the Max Factor Miracle Match, the Dream Satin Liquid from Maybelline, and the L'Oreal Infallible 24-Hour Matte. I need to try these guys out and see if I like them. If not, get rid of them because they're just kind of sitting there. I've swatched them all, but I haven't really had them on my face. So I need to do something about that. We'll see. So I will keep these to the side and try them out and see what I think of them, and maybe they will be decluttered in my next round. So we have 5 foundations going out. So here we have my concealers. I'm just doing this as a quick overview so I don't miss anything out. I am at present not going to get rid of any of my concealers. Yes, I do have a lot of concealer, but I'm really happy with them all. I do need to bring some of them in, work on the Tarte Shape Tape and that, but I'm really happy with the progress I'm making on my concealers this year. I have quite a lot of them in Project Pans at the moment, so by the end of the year when I do my end of year declutter, I'm more than confident that there's going to be half the amount here, so I'm not going to touch this category at all right now. Next up we have primers. I am going to get rid of a couple of these. I don't have a whole lot of primers, but I'm just going to pick off the weaklings, like the Professional. I haven't used this in a very long time. I've had it for a very long time as well, but anytime I do use it, I don't really like it. So it's just going to go. So is the L'Oreal Infallible. I had this in a Project Pan and I hated using it, so it's just gonna go. I'm also going to get rid of my Max Factor primers just because I do have quite a bit of primer to get through. So I'm going to get rid of these 2. We have the Face Finity from Max Factor, which I've had for quite a while, and I am concerned about it going off. I've had it for, I would say, maybe 2 or 3 years now, this specific bottle. The Smooth Miracle Primer, I enjoy it, but I have other ones that I would rather reach for than this one. If I want to use a smoothing primer, I do have my little samples of Clarins, or I can use the Smashbox Pore Minimizing Sample. Same with the Face Finity one. I do have the All Hours from YSL, which is very, very similar. and I would rather use that one than these ones, so they're all gonna go. So I'm getting rid of 4 primers. Next up we have my pressed powders, and I am going to get rid of this one. I've repressed it a couple of times now, and I'm just not, I've got a full size new version of the powder, so I'm just going to get rid of the old one. I'm also going to get rid of the NYX No Filter powder. There's not very much left in it, and I do have 3 other powders that I could be using, and at the moment I'm not reaching for a whole lot of pressed powder. I'm not touching up my makeup a whole lot during the day because I am on maternity leave, so I don't feel the need to have a lot of pressed powder, and then when I go back to work it will be in the cooler months, so I don't, this is more than enough powder to see me through till this time next year. So we're going to get rid of these 2 powders. Next up we have my loose powders. It's going to take me a long time to go through all these powders. I don't particularly want to get rid of any of them. I do enjoy pretty much all of them except for this guy. This is a silica powder, and it's a hardcore heavy duty silica powder. It would be perfect if you had really oily skin, or like oily to really oily skin. I have more normal leaning on dry skin at the moment, so every time I use this it just sort of saps all the moisture out of my face, so I'm just not going to hold on to this. I do have another silica powder that I enjoy using, or a silica like powder, and that is the Estee Lauder powder, perfecting loose powder, and it's a lot more finely milled than the RMS. It doesn't poof up in the air as much. You can kind of, if I hold the jars up and just shake it a little bit, you can kind of see how sort of, oh, this is hard upside down. You can kind of see just how sort of chunky and clumpy this guy is, whereas this is like, it's like powder liquid. Oh, this is so difficult upside down. But you can kind of see how it just sort of moves in the jar. It's a lot more finely milled, whereas this, it doesn't, it just sort of clumps together in the jar there. So I'd rather have the Estee Lauder one. That was a very long-winded explanation, but I am going to get rid of the RMS powder.